it's you! Come on in and join us!
We're going over the river and through the woods with Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet!
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, why, come on in the live chat, meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of folks hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we wanted to show you the durable plastic travel brush case that we got from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
Yeah, y'all, nobody wants to just throw their brush into the carry-on. This will keep your brush safe while you travel. And if your brush is a little bit bigger, this interlocking system is really cool. You can just leave it a little bit taller.
Yeah, and then Douglas mentioned you can even put little holes in the top or bottom to help it breathe and dry the brush while you travel.
If you don't have time to dry your brush before you have to get out of Dodge, there you go. And what is our soap today?
We have Douglas fir, which I thought was going to be a fun Christmassy kind of thing, but it actually looks a little spooky.
It's more like a Halloween scent, y'all. Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all, so from the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
It starts with the scent. Not just any scent, but something primal, older than memory, older than time. It's the kind of smell that grabs you by the schnoz and drags you deep into the woods, where the trees loom tall, their spines brushing the sky. This is no friendly forest. This is a place where shadows crawl, secrets linger, and the air itself smells alive. Douglas fir isn't just a fragrance, it's an invitation. Step in if you dare, but be warned, the forest doesn't let everyone leave. There's a tree joke in there somewhere.
Make like a tree and get out of here. It was May 6th, 2015, oddly enough, and for a brief shimmering moment, Douglas fir graced the world. A scent so rich, so hauntingly epic. It was like walking straight into a storybook, one of the old ones, where witches lived in gingerbread houses and wolves waited in the dark. After it was discontinued, time passed, and the elders whispered of it. Those who wore it spoke of frost-covered mornings, deep, resinous woods, and a sweetness that clung to the skin like the memory of first snow. Others claimed it never existed at all. Noob shave cadets wanted its scent unsniffed. They just knew they needed it.
Last year, we managed to squeeze in a very limited release for the small cult that formed around the Accord. Sadly, many missed out, and not to mention it was only available in the Aftershave Cologne and Shave Soap bundle. Brats. Now, nearly a decade since its inception, the legend is back, and as a full collection, Douglas fir has returned, and this time it's not just a scent, it's a full-on seasonal experience. Here's what you'll find when you enter the haunted holiday forest of Camp Phoenix.
It's more than just a scent. It's a magical doorway framed in evergreen and holly. Fun fact, some say the smell of evergreen trees keeps evil spirits at bay. Some also say it attracts them. Which one is true? We'll get back to us on that for posterity. The forest's secrets. The Douglas fir isn't what you'd think. For one, it's not a true fir. It belongs to its own genus, Pseudotsuga. But names are just words, and the forest doesn't care about those. What the forest does care about is history. The Douglas fir has been standing tall for centuries, used by shipbuilders, carpenters, and anyone with the guts to take on its timber. Its needles have healed colds, its resin has closed wounds, and its towering presence has sheltered the lost.
A warning to shave cadets. The forest doesn't call everyone. Some will pass this by too busy, too distracted by the holiday madness, too afraid even. But for those who feel the pull, who hear the rustle and whisper of the trees, even when they're city slicking, this is your chance to dance under the chilly moon of the winter woods.
But be quick. Legends like this don't linger. Neither does the season. Step into the forest, Douglas fir. They say every scent tells a story. Well, with Douglas fir, the story is yours to tell. Just don't forget the way out.
Whoa!
Lions and tigers and bears. Y'all, I am so excited for this. And this is one of my favorite sales pages so far.
I'm glad we read it all the way through.
Lovely. I love this is sort of a melding of Christmas and Halloween because it's got those Christmas Douglas fir elements. But this is a very frightening Stanley Kubrick-esque sales page. So, y'all, I think there's only one thing to do.
Let's let it out of the box. Okay.
This is the second one. We got you all. And we acted fast. And
You're
got
right.
our hollow label. If you are one of the first 50 to purchase a PAA release, it comes with a limited edition hollow label. And sometimes they are way different than the standard label.
Right?
Very
That is kind of
clever.
creepy, though. Look at it. There is some holly. There is a few little touches, but...
And it's a Christmas ornament on top being held up by an octopus. That's PAA. All right, y'all, make sure your tray tables are in the fully upright position because this cube is ready for a first impression. We have generally forgotten most of the set notes by the time we get to our first impression.
Yeah.
But y'all, all I remember about this is there's a list. This is not just Douglas fir. There's like 6 or 7 prominent things in here, and I want you to go first because I want to ask you questions.
So I'm intrigued because this is kind of a focal point. Like, we obviously know there's going to be fur in here,
Right.
but I'm curious if that list is to help the fur have more of a voice or to kind of add the creepy vibes that we were reading. Like, there's definitely some stuff tangled in the magic here.
And the seasonals for Christmas this year seemed to lean a little heavy on the evergreen, especially around this barbershop.
Right.
So I'm excited to discover not only this evergreen, but so many other things that are swirling around under it. Let's have a first impression, see what you can find.
Douglas fir action. I mean, I do feel like I'm in the forest, but it looks like there's snow. So it may not just be a green blast. Let's see.
Well, if I smelled Camp Phoenix and was able to take those grand adventures, who knows what might be hiding in its forest in the off-season.
Okay, I'm going in. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah?
We don't have a scent like this.
Oh, okay.
But it's very true in what it's called.
Love it.
It's really a dense forest.
Gotcha.
Like some of the other ones were like, oh, there's a tree over there, or there's some snow on the tree. Like this one is definitely green. Like
Love
you
it.
can see the trees
Hard
around.
to find your way out.
Right. So I think there's snow around, but I feel like it's such a dense forest.
Right.
Like that's where the maze of like getting lost between the trees, because there's so many in this tub. It's
We
undeniable.
know that Douglas loves his canopies, y'all. I
So
shaved with Megaflora this morning. That's funny. Okay. Where does he get?
Well, let me dive back in the forest here. It's interesting. A lot of the times we talk about how like there's a scent note that takes over or it goes back and forth. This one, the fur is throughout.
Nice.
You can tell there's stuff above and below it, but during the whiff, it never goes away. Like the consistency of the fur stays throughout, which doesn't always happen for us. Like I feel like we get more of the base and more of the tops or something, but this is like, no, I'm going by the name. But there is something above it that's, I'm getting like a white color. I'm not necessarily getting snow, but there's some sort of a almost approaching a talky-ish thing.
Oh, yeah?
Very subtle, but it's in there. Or maybe like a benzoin or a white
I was gonna
floral.
say, yeah, the way
There's-
benzoin can kind of hint at a talc.
So there's something like that that's keeping it from getting sweet.
Right.
So it's, I don't want to say it's a damper, but it's keeping it from going gourmandy or anything like that. So this is, I am definitely outside. I'm in the woods. It's not like there's somebody with a window open cooking cookies or something.
Right.
We are not in the fun forest.
Gotcha, just straight up forest.
Yeah, and I can tell it's dark and damp. It doesn't mean that the sun's not out, but it's just so dense in this forest that there is that like moisture. I don't know if there's a little soil-ish, but there's something darker in the base happening.
Love that.
So it's outdoors. I don't want to throw it to like oud or something specific, but it's in that zone of like a different texture, maybe even like a pepper or something that's just giving me that charcoaly, darker, kind of deeper scent.
See, that's why I love Douglas. I was asking DJ about lump of coal, and he was like, oh, it is far more than just a charcoal scent. Got it. It's never just going to be the single scent.
No,
that's on the
if you
label.
want to smell for fur, it's there the whole time. But if you want to dive in and figure out the different hidden shadows and avenues of this forest, there's a lot more there to uncover.
Oh!
It's the part of the green of the evergreen-ish Douglas fir side. Like, I was there the first day that the Christmas tree lot opened, and it was pouring rain, and all of the trees were still wrapped, laying horizontal stacked.
Well, it was before Thanksgiving and we had to start shooting our Christmas episodes. We needed a tree desperately. Makes perfect sense to me.
And I just happened to get there early, and the dude that was filling the cash register had to go get cash, so I was waiting, and as I'm
Carving
there,
all the trees.
I'm watching all the dudes set up the trees, taking the things out the outside. So I'm standing in wind, rain, and trees surrounding me for a good like 5 minutes, standing out there. And there's something so real about about them fresh off the truck,
Right.
being opened and shaken out, like the needles falling. There's something of that potency.
Right.
Because the rain was like dampening the rest around me. I could get the dirt of the lot.
He said they'd been cut down the day before and trucked in from Oregon. They were
Yes.
actually a little bit late because there was snow at the California border.
I was just transported for a moment back
Right.
to like the initial excitement of starting the Christmas like season. It's in here.
Okay, I need to know how this is more than just a Douglas fir. Okay, here we go. Yeah? Y'all, what's really cool for me is you've got a beautiful Douglas fir, as advertised, right in the middle of this. And then on one side, it gets beautifully cold and snowy, and I know how, and I'll get back to that in a second. And then on the other side is the rest of your forest. A little bit of bark of the tree, a little bit of the ground under your feet. And the smell of wet pine needles, something most people don't think about in the snow because they think of the snow as being frozen. Well, not at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the sun is streaming through and those little flakes that are sitting on the pine needles melt. It gives that Douglas fir a phenomenal nostalgic damp quality to the leaves without it being sort of frozen. The snow's over here.
Right. That's why I was at the tree lot with the rain.
And y'all, on the right, the way I think he is doing the snow is a hint for me, I'm going to say it, of vector.
I could see that.
Are you getting that?
My first initial whiff, my brain was like, I know this. And then I kept going.
It's not the entire scent. Get
No.
that out of your head. But when you are there with the Douglas fir, and on the left, you feel the bark and the soil under your feet. And to the right, you begin looking for the snow and the beautiful streaks of yellow sunlight through the trees that hit the snow and make it glitter. That's being done with a couple of herbs, I think, maybe a subtle floral. But it's being done with some of that stuff from Vicks Vapor Rub or Vector from PAA, which Douglas and Fran were so sweet to have made into an homage for Mama last season. Y'all, that comforting sense is in here too. And you know why I love that? When do you remember getting colds? I know we get colds in July and August, but for some reason they don't stick in my memory. It's the ones where I'm sitting home watching The Price is Right, surrounded by Christmas decorations. It's a winter cold. So I love that Vicks Vapor Rub is a little bit of a nostalgic winter scent to me, and it is a little bit in the top notes of this to give you the illusion of snow on the pine needle leaves.
Yes.
And what a nostalgic hit comes with that. I can't even tell you. Wow, there's more than just Bruno.
It's funny because my brain almost wanted there to be menthol. And then I realized like, oh wait, no, that was the Vector side. But like it's in
more
there.
camphor.
Yeah.
It's not menthol, but there's something in here that's doing that for
Yes.
sure, like the smell of it.
It's not mint necessarily, but your brain almost wants it to be.
Wow, y'all, it almost smells cold. It's not like a scent note.
No.
It just smells cold.
That's the dampness maybe. There's something in there that's Mercs.
Can your ear hear hot? Yes, it can. You know why? Take cold water, pour it into the sink, close your eyes and listen. Then boil some water in the microwave. Pour it into the sink, close your eyes and listen. You can tell 100% of the time whether hot or cold water is being poured into a tea mug. And it's amazing. Your nose can do the same thing. So I think the scent notes are a little in the Vicks Vapor Rub direction.
I'm with you.
But the way this washes over me in character is a beautiful, cold evening. I'm not even getting morning from this.
No. That's why I said it was dark in the forest.
Right.
But I do also feel like there's something in this, like the potency or the volume of the Douglas fir is turned up. So even if this was somewhat in the same plane as Vector, it's very different where it's tuned.
Right. Yes, that's a very good point. The Vector's only 10-15%, and only if I'm really looking for the snow.
Exactly.
The main character is that Douglas fir that I am right next to. It's not like it's over there and I'm kind of taking it all in. No, the vibe of this is being right under that tree. And you know, those tracks look a little like a Sasquatch. I'm forgetting what forest we're in. Can we please take a look at these scent notes? Back to the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Okay, starting at the beginning with...
Balsam fir, sharp, green, and alive, like the very breath of the forest.
Black sage, just a pinch, earthy and grounding, like a whisper of ancient knowledge.
Jerusalem pine, rich and mysterious, the scent of old wood and forgotten paths.
Benzoin, warm and resinous, a sweetness that feels almost human.
Coumarin and young coniferous undertones are soft, green, and very festive.
Y'all! Let's take these one at a time. The balsam fir that I think you and I know best as
Yes.
that Douglas fir scent, right? It's not just them balsams.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the scent note that most people are going to recognize first,
Yes.
or recognize at all, is the balsam fir.
Right.
Now, we go on our adventure. Strap in, put on your backpacks. Black sage. Now, we know white sage from solstice and other things like that, but black sage, earthy and grounding.
That's funny because we were saying herbs, and I even said like a pepper, like earthy scent.
Right, you get that toasted sage with butternut squash raviolis. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world. I will eat it.
There's something to me, like my brain almost wants it to be like a charcoal or an embers. Like there's something in that blackish color my brain's getting.
And then this is what takes our Douglas fir and makes it a bit supernatural. The Jerusalem pine, rich and mysterious. This is why you said oud, I think. The scent of old wood and forgotten paths.
Or you mentioned even like more of the bark. Like there's something that's different cut, like texture.
Right. That's where it's coming from. And then this, benzoin warm, resinous, a sweetness that feels almost human. We've heard benzoin described as a little bit vanilla-ish. I mean, who knows?
Right. But I do feel like this, usually when you smell a fir or a Christmas scent during the holidays, there's something in it that you put a sweetness to kind of tame some of the sharpness of the firs.
Think Paganini's violin, just for that specific note.
So there's something in this that's just rounding out that edge so it's not too like pokey of a fir.
Right. And then let's have a grown-up conversation. When you go to Camp Phoenix, 80% of that is the Sasquatch and the Loch Ness Monster, and holy crap, there's a clown coming for me. But the other 10, 15, 20% is this beautiful, whimsical character that reminds you are in a dream. You are in another dimension, whisked away by the cube, and nothing that happens here matters in the same way. The bottom scent note here, the coumarin and the young coniferous undertones, are what keeps this whimsical and remind you you're not in a forest on planet Earth, but one very adjacent.
There's two parts to this scent. There's a part that's so real, I'm there. The other part is like, wait, this isn't quite real.
Right. And y'all, you are now going to see a lather built with this phenomenal butter-like vegan soap, and we're going to use our $4.99 on Black Friday sale lather bowl from the Razor Company, where you can also pick up PAA. This is our bougie sprayer from the Small Drittas, and I'm going to put about 12 sprays of this into our Phoenix soap, but I'm going to bloom it laterally. So I'm going to keep the soap up above, just let it bask in that little bit of wetness, and then bring my brush over and go forwards and go backwards, and then push down a little bit to see what the backbone knows, and then I'm going to spin my brush, give those bristles that were on the outside a chance to get at that soap too, and even more of it starts to disappear. Then I'm going to turn it again. Now, it's not really a dry brush, I would say, because that water that you used to bloom it is going to get on the bristles, but look at this. All that soap is gone. You know where it is? Hiding among the trees of this beautiful brush. And then I'm going to go down for the water. I'm going to let it get absorbed by the bristles. And then either go straight to the face like Douglas does, or make a nice bowl lather, or ladies straight to the legs.
It's so funny to watch how big like the bloom of this brush is, and then as soon as you add the soap, it's like, oh, thank you, and add the water, and then it opens back up.
Yeah, y'all, this has a softness that is approaching the Cyclotrode X, but a backbone that's more like the atomic rocket. Are you kidding? What a great brush this is. It's new to me, too.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
Yeah, you know, we never comment on lather here at the Barbershop Duet, but are you kidding me? Look at that beautiful Phoenix lather, ready to go straight to the face. Now, we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, but when we do watch our Philip Sharp, the sharp shaver, he does a phenomenal job. So we thought we'd like to show you how the lather does coat the face. Oh, beautiful. I am fresh off a PAA shave this morning.
There's such a spread to that brush, too. Like, it really covers your face.
Feels so good. Sloppy factor to it in the bowl.
Oh, it smells? Okay, you know like when you do use Vector and there's that opening of your nose that happens? Right. More of the menthol side, but here, there's something with the green that makes you want to take like the deepest whiff, you know?
Same way as if you're standing among the trees for the first time and you see the snowflakes start to fall and you just take it in.
It's happening on my face.
And that's what this brings you. Oh, it feels so good. And you know, I'm going to say it. Evergreen scents are very delightful when you put them on. But for me, as the day goes on, in fact, as the hour goes on, there are things about that evergreen scent that get very pokey and like to really remind you that they're on your shoulder. Hey! 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 He's taken the hey out of this. This is an evergreen that has to reveal itself to you. And I think that's the magic of those other scent notes. They are strong enough to balance it out, but they are gentle enough to give it a lovely character that's absolutely wearable.
Like, to me, it feels like we're snowshoeing through the woods. And you're just surrounded by trees the whole time you're out there. Like, I don't think you'd get tired of that scent if you think of it that way.
I want to take soft shoeing through the woods and give it to AI and see what happens. I won't, because I would have to give this a special designation on YouTube that it's AI. Anyway, let's take this deep.
It's time.
Oh, I have one last big question that I'm hoping this splash can answer that I bet you might be wondering at home. Does this skew more Christmas, or does this skew, as the sales page suggests, more definitively Halloween, or somewhere in the middle? Now, while the soap is a beautiful street sign to let us know what direction we're traveling, as Douglas and Fran will tell you, these scents are one-dimensional. They have dried down. These are not. There is still tons of adventure to be found on how they make their scents and how they bind with your own body chemistry. All right, here we go. Should old acquaintance be forgot? Here we go. All right, you want to go first?
Okay. Ooh, it's a little cloudy. There's some things happening in this one. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Is there a Sasquatch or not? Oh, somebody woke up. I know it's not mint, but she loves mint. It's something about that green. Oh, it warmed up. The Jerusalem thing. Is it that one? The pine?
Y'all, look at my face. As it is drying down, where those multiple evergreens are meeting that glorious, unlisted in the scent notes, camphorous sense of cold is absolutely magical. And it's what makes this, for me, way more Halloween than Christmas. Are you getting that? Where's this landing for you?
I'm right in the middle. I'm just cold. So, sometimes depending where you live, like... yeah. But depending where you live, like, Halloween time could reference, like, you gotta be in a costume that you can stay warm outside because it's cold. But I just get, like, for me, in the splash, the scent earlier out of the tub was much more of a flat scent, if that makes sense. This one rounded out, and it's like a full experience now. Marcus needs a minute.
I'm having an existential crisis. This smells better than an actual forest.
Yes.
That's not supposed to happen. That's not supposed to happen.
So that's what I meant earlier. Like, is that list going to make the fur be more of the potent focal
Do you
point?
understand
No.
the single lane roads that I drive on the sides of cliffs to get to campgrounds to smell things that don't quite smell as beautiful as this does right now at my piano? Pisses me off.
It's true.
How good this is.
Like, I somehow can smell the earthiness in a different way. There's something about the coumarin and the young... all of those scents are in here.
And all of them, natural. And that is what sets this vastly apart from the other evergreens that we've covered this season. Those are very whimsical. Those are very Norman Rockwell.
Yeah.
This is Lovecraft. And that camphorous sense from Vector is unreal. It's the snow and the cold. It's the season. And it matches so well with the evergreen. It's unbelievable.
It's funny. I think we saw this go by last year, but we just didn't have time to do it. So I'm so glad we did this year.
You know what I just found in this? There's a smell I only get, and it may be why you said this, because I was not with you, when they cut off the bottom of your Christmas tree. And it's a peppery sense, because it's not the needles.
Nope.
It's the bark, and it's the wood. Holy crap. That's here. I didn't think that was, like, copyable.
Yeah. So that's why when we were reading this earlier, I'm like, is it the black sage that's doing it? Is it the benzoin or the young pine, the Jerusalem pine? Something in there is magic.
I don't care what's doing. A smell from my childhood I didn't think I'd get back.
Right.
Isn't that what PAA is for?
There's just something about having a real Christmas tree for the holiday. Like, even my mom gave us these little things that you can hang in a fake tree to make it smell real. And it seems so
I know
minimal
what that
compared
smells like.
to this.
I know what that smells like. This is the sap from the tree itself.
Yes. And usually, at least in a lot of the ones that we have, there's a sweeter side You can't do it. There's a sweeter side that's in there. This, the way that the sweetness used, is to just round out the edges, almost enticing to make you want to keep walking through the forest. Like, it's just like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not scary. You're fun. But it's just so real here. We broke Marcus.
So it's pretty simple, y'all. Spend your childhood driving thousands of miles over very unsafe terrain to find forests that smell good.
Yeah.
And drag out tents and stoves. All kinds of stuff so you can live there for a while.
Yep.
When, as it turns out, all you gotta do is open the closet in your bathroom.
Yep.
Turn this about 175 degrees. Get you out! So head over to their website at phoenixartisanaccoutrements.com. Or even better, do it by way of the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, which lets them know that we sent you, and it gives us back a small percentage of the sale, which we'll probably spend on soap so we can make more episodes. It's at no cost to you, and we would be grateful. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Douglas fir. What makes this special? What makes PAA special? It's not just your evergreen. They never just stop there. Y'all, this one has the bark. Most importantly, this one has the sap of the tree. And if you are going to go out into that forest, those are going to be present. This is an absolutely magical, absolutely real walk through Camp Phoenix in February. And y'all, I am so grateful for this. Thank you, PAA. Welcome to Messages.
So for our January giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to win one of the full-size soaps of Adopted Acres' inaugural lineup.
Yeah, y'all, and this is a video of us making the very first purchase ever at the newly activated Adopted Acres website on Etsy, and we purchased our own collab. Y'all, to be eligible for this giveaway, all you have to do is send your email here to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com so that we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here our first week of February to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
There are scents from our childhood that are important, that you never want to really let go of. We have our photo albums for pictures. We have our VHS drawer for our favorite movies, but it's this. This is how we are remembering and encapsulating our favorite scent memories over the years. And I think why, with 450, I feel like we are just getting started.
Right? And I feel like what you were talking about earlier, like in wintertime, you want to reach for good vibes or something like that from the beach, maybe. Now, when it's coming to be summer, you're going to want to reach and grab this bad boy.
A snowy Christmas tree in the middle of the forest when it's 110 degrees outside, you bet.
Yep.
Douglas and Fran, thank you for whisking us away to some of the most amazing places aboard the Cube. We are grateful that we get to visit these every morning.
Yes, don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.